All right, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Word with Ty Brownlow. I am your host, Ty Brownlow. And remember, no one is worthless. No story is worthless. And today I have a very special guest on my show. Let me give you a couple of words about my guest. Author, motivation, leader, and host. Ladies and gentlemen, all the way from Greensboro, North Carolina, put your hands together for Mr. Ronald Wilson. How are you, sir?
I am wonderful, sir. It is a privilege and an honor to be here on Word with Ty Brownlow. Thank you for having me.
Well, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Look, we're here to talk about you and some of the fabulous things that you're doing. Man, as I said before, there were a couple of words that I used to best describe you. One of the words that I used was author. So yes. I want to get into a little bit of you being a writer. I was looking through your bio, and basically I came across the words writing is a passion. And
yes, absolutely.
So, man, how did you come into that?
Into writing, or just it becoming a passion? Because it haven't always been a passion, but I found out in later years that writing to me became very therapeutic, and because it helped me think, it helped me to collect my thoughts, and it helped me to share actually my thoughts as well. The therapeuticness of it developed into a passion. So now writing is certainly a passion. It started out being the relaxation thing that I just wrote, just to get things off my mind, off my heart, and just share some words of wisdom with a few people. Not a book, but it became that I wrote so much, it became into a book, 1 book, 2 books, 3 books, and so on. But writing was started out very therapeutic and then developed into a passion, and I'm grateful for it.
Well, man, I think that is great. Like something that started off as one thing and then transformed into something not only even better for you, but something that you can use to touch not only one person but millions of people. And pretty much as you said, the more you wrote and wrote, now, you find yourself writing books. You've written several books.
Yes.
Okay. But I'm here to talk about your latest book. Now, your latest book is called Money Needs. Money Needs, a fundamental guide to financial security.
Absolutely.
Now, Mr. Wilson, let me tell you now, in these days and times, we need as much financial security as possible. With the with the jobs and everything else that's going on. Tell us a little bit more about your book and why you chose to write this.
Word. All right, Mr. Ty. So here it is. With money and money needs, you can line up, as you just said, especially during this time of pandemic, you can line up 100 people and ask every person, how many of you guys need some money? Every hand probably would go up.
I got 2.
Then I threw the spin of a reverse psychological mindset toward it to tell them you would be surprised how much money need you. I know you say you need money, but you would be very surprised at how much money need you, because money has never and will never spend itself. You can place a $20 bill on the cabinet, and 20, 50 years later, that money will still be on the cabinet. It needs you. It needs a mind. It needs a plan. It needs a target. Money needs you. And definitely during this pandemic, a lot of things have come our way to benefit us economically. But a lot of times, because of the same mindset with money, we can take a $3,000, $4,000 stimulus check and do the same thing we do with a $20 check, and just spend it if we don't have the right mindset toward it. So I just wrote this book to let people know, again, it's a very fundamental guide to financial security, showing people that money can't spend itself. Money need you more than you need money.
Okay, hey, I like that, brother. Money needs me more than I need it. Because I sure don't know anything right about now. But hey, look here, I welcome that relationship. Money, if you're listening, come on, man. Please come on home. I've missed you so. No, but no, you know what? I love it. I think that's something, really, that as I said before, in these days and times, we need more of, we need to be a little bit more sound in our judgment and our thinking.
Absolutely.
Because you just never really know which way the wind's going to blow now,
That's right. That's right.
But moving right along, something else I said about you being motivation. You have a men's ministry called MENISRTY, but with an E. Well, man, how did that come about? And, tell us, like, what has been the response since you launched that?
Wow. Well, this is actually a relaunch of MENISRTY because I launched it some years ago. I'm also a barber. I have a passion. I've been a barber for about 15, 20 years. Okay. And I was cutting hair over the years, and I was seeing a lot of young men come in. And you can tell they have no direction in life. And a lot of them came in with their mother. The father never brought them to the barbershop. And it was just a thing in my heart that grabbed my heart that these guys need a mentor, somebody touring them through life. And I actually got with another couple of barbers that worked with me at that present time. And we got together and thought some things out. And I gave them my idea as God laid it on my heart for MENISRTY with the E instead of the N. This is a ministry, just a foundational place for us to just lay our hair down. I don't got nothing right now to lay down, but just to take off our hat and, just talk men temptations, how to overcome temptations of life, just being a man. And we did it for a little season. And then I felt like too many other things were pulling on me in ministry, period, M-I-N, ministry. And I just let it die out for a minute. But the past couple of weeks, I think 2 or 3 weeks ago, we just relaunched it, and it is doing wonderful. It is doing wonderful. It has I think more of a hunger because of the start of the first launch, and then it went to rest. Now that it's relaunched, I feel more of a hunger, and men are desiring it. We got men here in North Carolina where I'm at in Greensboro, people in Arizona connecting now, and other different places in the nation. And we're hoping for catch on to it. So MENISRTY with the E is an awesome vision of mine the Lord gave me. And I believe it's a great stage and foundational place to launch, not just young men, but all men.
Okay, hey, I think that is great. Where can we catch that? I mean, like if someone wanted to, get in contact with you, if there were like a young male or a young male group or whatever that wanted to get in contact with you, how would they be able to go about that?
Very good. Right now we're starting, I'm coming out kind of slow with it. I won't say slow, but we're on every first and third Sunday starting. There are several men already asking for once a week, but I got so much on my plate already. Every first and third Sunday. Right now, we actually coming by way of Zoom, just like we're doing today. And you can go to our website at kingdomtodaygso.com to find out more information on that. I think it's first and third. Well, I know it's first and third Sunday at 7:00 right now, East Coast time.
Okay. All right. Well, man, I will definitely put that up on, my website, as I'm posting, this interview.
Thank you so much.
Because no, seriously, I think that's something that's very key. And especially, as you said, during this time,
yes.
With, so much uncertainty, in the world, and it's just in the, United States alone, we all need to come together and, talk about, what's eating at us and, the pressures that we may have outside of, what our daily pressures are,
Absolutely. You hit me on the head.
Well, man, you know what? I think what you're doing is very much needed. So kudos to you, brother. Kudos.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you for that support.
All right. So now, man, we talked about motivation. We talked about leadership. I want to talk about this life coaching. Now, you're a pastor as well. Okay.
Correct.
So, man, I know you just talked about, your men's ministry, but let's just talk a little bit about life coaching. And, we just hit a little bit on the pandemic and everything that's going on. In your mind, and, you know, just your thoughts alone, how can people get the most out of life during this pandemic right now?
Great question. I think this pandemic has been what I would call oxymoronish, because it's been a blessing, and of course it's been the bad side. I guess people can say a curse at the same time. But I believe this pandemic, especially the part where we have to stay in, the quarantine side of it, is more of a blessing, because I believe people are coming in touch with themselves. People have never really sat down and found out who they are like they are doing during this pandemic, because it's so busy. The world just has us going. And now that we are at a standstill quarantine, you have to be with yourself. And that's the last person that a lot of us have spent time with, ourselves, because we're always doing something for business. We're always doing something for each other, for our wives, for whoever. But now I think the quarantine has forced us to just evaluate yourself. And a lot of people are finding out who they really are, because so many stories I've heard where people are, sad to say, committing suicide because they can't do the busy thing anymore. I was looking at, I think the first Sunday where NFL just kicked back off, and I was listening to Dak Prescott, quarterback for Dallas Cowboys, I believe it was. He said he finally realized that he was fighting depression when the quarantine hit. He said, as long as I was doing football, practicing and playing games, he said, hey, I was good. But when the quarantine hit, I really found out that I was battling with depression. So I think we can get the best out of this pandemic by just learning who we are, doing a self-evaluation on who we are, our goals, our ambitions, our vision. Who are you? So I think the identity crisis, the self-identity crisis, we can definitely get the best out of that during this quarantine.
You know what? I think you hit on some very key things, you know, especially with the whole thing about Dak Prescott. And he's a world-class athlete, you know. Almost.
Absolutely.
So,
and sad to say, his brother did commit suicide.
Well, but, you know, let's just speak on it for a second. You know, pretty much as you said, you know, we're so busy going, and pretty much even as you said, doing for others, and not spending enough time to really figure out who we are.
That's right.
So now when everything suddenly stops and slows down, and you're somewhat forced to be with yourself and your thoughts and who you really are as a person, you know, that's kind of hard for people to really wrap their mind around.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
And, you know, as you said before, you know, with the suicide rate, and you have domestic violence, you have substance abuse, you have so many things going on right now at a pretty much at a like record rate. Yeah, man, you know, I think it's real key and it's real important for you to have the things in place that you have, like your ministry.
Thank you.
The fact that you're a pastor and, you know, you're out here helping others, and, you know, you're out here being a life coach. You're out here talking about money, you know, making, you know, financial educated moves, you know, just being a pillar, you know, and being like, you know, a beacon of light in darkness as we have it right now, not to be cliche or what have you, but
right.
You know, that's pretty much what it is. So, man, let me just say, man, hats off to you, and thank you for just coming on the show and just spreading, you know, man, your words of wisdom with us, you know.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much. It is all my pleasure.
Man, but before you get out of here, man, I have to ask you this last question. This is the question my show is known for, okay?
Okay.
Mr. Ronald Wilson, what is the one word that best describes you and why?
Motivated.
Okay.
And because I found out through the years that if you don't have a drive for yourself, people are not going to just give you a handout. So you got to get up and chase your own vision and make things happen. Don't wait for them to happen.
In other words, get up, get out, and do something.
Absolutely.
Shout out to Outcast. All right. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I hear you, brother. I hear you, brother. So, man, look here. If people want to get in contact with you, man, you know, your ministry, just you, yourself, like, how can people get in contact with you?
Well, again, you can visit that website at kingdomtodaygso.com, and I believe all of that's our website to the church that'll take you to links, different links. But I do have, I believe it's Ronald D. Wilson 44 is my Instagram, Facebook, and I believe it was one more Twitter, Ronald D. Wilson 44. If not, Kingdom Today, I do know that's definite. KingdomTodayGSO.com will give you everything else you need.
All right. Hey, you heard the man. Y'all better go to that website and check him out. Go get that book. Man, look here. He's here for you if you need him. And even if you don't need him, he's still here for you. All right.
Absolutely.
Look here, man. Ronald Wilson, I thank you for coming on the show. Man, this is Word with Ty Brownlow. Remember, no one is worthless. No story is worthless. You can also follow me on Instagram and Facebook at Word with Ty Brownlow. You can also find me on YouTube at Word with Ty Brownlow and on Twitter at Ty Brownlow TV. At Ty Brownlow TV, I'm sorry. And, you know, basically my website, tybrownlow.com. You can get this great, you know, interview right here, plus all this goodness and, you know, other stuff I got for you. Man, I thank you, sir. We out. Peace.
Thank you very much. My pleasure.